Hey, Shalom Akim. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah. So, I've been wanting to do this video for a while now, and I said I was going to do it in the last video about Candida. And I've dealt with this for a large part of my life, and this shit fucking sucks, man. This shit basically is what it is. It's a parasite. Or it exists in everybody. Everybody has it, but the reason it doesn't manifest in people sometimes because our own immune system keeps it in check. So there's a balance of good bacteria and bad bacteria in our gut, which the probiotics is what keeps it in check. So there's 80% good, 20% bad. And when that balance gets thrown off, the candida takes over and it causes all kinds of health problems. Like, man, like if if you got a brother in your camp and he smells like bad, like body like BO, bad BO, it's most likely candida. 8 out of 10 people in America have it. And they don't know, the doctors don't fucking diagnose it because they don't they say it doesn't exist or whatever, but it's fucking bullshit. It's like they don't know how to diagnose it basically. But when you start detoxing from this thing, oh, it's you feel like you're gonna die. Like there's this thing. It's called the Herc. I can never pronounce it. The Herxheimer reaction. But basically, what it is, because this candida it stores all these toxins that we eat from food, heavy metals, chemicals, pesticides, herbicides, fungicides, everything, all the chemicals that get put in our body. These things eat it. Like, no, they just store it inside themselves. So when you have all these in your body, they release them into your bloodstream, and it causes all kinds of health problems, and it makes people smell hella bad. Like, it's fucking horrible. But all right, anyway, here's this is the Herxheimer reaction, which this is what happens when you start detoxing from this. It resembles bacterial sepsis and can occur after initiation of antibacterials such as mild silver protein, penicillin, or tetracycline for the treatment of louse-borne relapsing fever, which never take antibiotics, because antibiotics is fucking like the worst thing you could take for parasites. That's what they want. That's what the medical industry wants you to take, because it's only going to make it worse, and it's going to make you keep buying more of their fucking pills that they want to sell. It's just so corrupt. Like, it shit makes me mad and shit. For treatment of louse-borne relapsing fever and in tick-borne relapsing fever, it usually manifests within a few hours of the first dose of antibiotics as fever, chills, rigor, hypertension, headache, tachyhydria, hyperventilation, vasodilation with flushing, myalgia, muscle pain, exacerbation of skin lesions, and anxiety. The intensity of the reaction indicates the severity of inflammation. Reaction commonly occurs within 2 hours of drug administration, but is usually self-limiting. It is observed in 50% of patients with primary syphilis and about 90% of patients with secondary syphilis. Causes. Reaction is traditionally associated with antimicrobial treatment of syphilis. The reaction is also seen in other diseases caused by Cyproctitis, Lyme disease, relapsing fever, and leptospirosis. There have been case reports of Jurg's-Hermixer reaction accompanying treatment of other infections, including Q fever, Bartonellosis, blah blah blah. But yeah, you get the picture. And if anybody wants to look more into it, there's this website. It's called the Candida Diet, which it shows everything. You're not supposed to avoid sugars, cut out junk food, non-starchy. This has so much information, and it's a real good website. But anyway, let's go into this video. Sugar, the cause of Candida. It's there's a good video. It has it basically says everything, like why it happens and how it happens. So here we go. I'm not gonna play all of it because it's like 30 minutes long, but you guys can look it up. I recommend everybody look it up.
A parasite that uses your body as its personal
And be honest,
ground, taking over first.
be honest with yourself. You know what I mean? Like, if you're like, damn, I stink, you might fucking have this shit. Like, not you might, you will. And that there's certain things like you could look like when you wake up in the morning. If your tongue is like hella white and it's just disgusting. Like, your tongue shouldn't be that white. It should be like a pink color. Like me now, I wake up and my breath don't even stink. Like, my tongue's just white. I mean, just clear, like pink and clear. It shouldn't be white. That's because that's the Candida. That's the bad bacteria in your body. You know what I mean? And you got to find ways to clear it out, which clearing out with, you use diatomaceous earth, the purified water that I did in the other video, eating a lot of fiber, specifically chia seeds and aloe vera. I always do I'll go to like an Issacharite store, and you could buy aloe vera leaves, and you mix it with chia seeds. With the chia seeds, they just absorb all the water and it turns into like gelatin, and you put that shit in the blender and you drink it, and that cleans it out so good, like with the aloe vera, because the aloe vera is antimicrobial. But anyway, here we go.
Your stomach, then your entire GI tract, forcing you to crave the foods it wants, while slowly destroying your body from the inside out. Governments are finally admitting that this is real. Measures have been proposed in New York and the country of Mexico to try and stop it. But by the time you watch this, it may already be too late. Perhaps the scariest thing is that its symptoms come on slowly. You may never even realize your fatigue, weight gain, or lack of sleep is the result of this bad bug, until it finally takes over and forces you to seek medical attention. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you a simple test you can do to find out whether or not you've been infected, and if so, how to get rid of it before it causes potentially irreversible damage. I'm also going to expose the major government screw-up that allowed this to happen, and how they are now scrambling to fix it. Warning, the information I'm about to share with you is controversial, because this parasite comes from the most unlikely place, your food supply. In the next few minutes, I'm going to expose the manipulative practices of several very large corporations, companies like General Mills, Nestle, and Coca-Cola, that they prayed the public would never discover. It's a tangled web of bribery that makes your average politician look like a saint. And they are currently spending tens of millions of dollars in false advertising.
I'm just gonna fast forward a little bit throughout the video.
But it's about time someone pulled back the curtain. So many farmers took on the challenge, hoping for good results.
Yeah, right here they try to say the companies try to make sugar.
But as you may have guessed, the attempts were a disaster. Many resulted in the death of livestock. One member of Parliament, John Kerwin,
which sugar is hella toxic to the body.
The FDA sought criminal investigation into a food manufacturer for misrepresenting the safety tests of a product. What the investigation revealed was shocking. 30 years, more and more of the gastrointestinal symptoms include thrush, bloating and gas, intestinal cramps, rectal itching, altered bowel functions such as diarrhea or constipation, yeast infections, frequent bladder infections, irritable bladder. Hormonal complaints include menstrual irregularities like pain or bleeding, premenstrual syndrome, thyroid dysfunction. Nervous system complaints include depression, irritability, inability to concentrate. Immune system complaints include allergies, chemical sensitivities, low immune function. And if your past history includes chronic yeast infections, chronic antibiotic use for infections or acne, oral birth control pill usage, or oral steroid hormone usage, your chances of having Candida overgrowth are greatly increased. One of the scariest things about Candida is the way it begins to reprogram you to crave more of the foods it wants. It hijacks taste buds, brain chemistry.
Yeah, right here. Like, if you crave sugar and like carbohydrates, that's not you craving it. It's the bacteria in your gut telling you that that's what they want to eat, because that's how they survive. They need that sugar, that easily fast energy, and it basically hijacks your brain. They tell you, we want Oreos, donuts, sugar, carbs, all that shit is hella bad for you. Like now, I'm mostly like on fat, mostly a fat base. Like I'll only meat I eat is lamb and eggs. Being mostly fat based is like the best thing you could do because you're not eating sugar, you're not eating carbs, and you feel better because your brain is 80% fat. You could think better, like you get less depressed. At least I do. I fucking get you used to get depressed a lot and shit, and now I just you feel better. Anxiety and shit goes away. Whatnot. But yeah, these things hijack your brain, for to make you want things that are bad for you.
And hormones to make you want foods that make it grow faster and mess you up even more. Breads, sugars, refined carbs, sodas, fried foods, carb-heavy foods like pizza and pasta, and of course, desserts and sweets. Do you often find yourself craving these things? If so, it's probably not because you're a naturally unhealthy eater, but because the bad bacteria has taken over. It's like they're down there in your stomach yelling, "Feed me," forcing you to want foods that worsen your condition, make you gain weight, and make it literally painful for you to go on a diet that doesn't include them. Candida has also been linked to many studies showing it could be the #1 cause of obesity. As Doctors Carolyn Dean and William Crook write in their 2005 book, The Yeast Connection in Women's Health, most women don't have even an inkling that their symptoms could be caused by yeast overgrowth in their bodies. The number of women suffering in silence, not even knowing what is really wrong, and blaming themselves for failing is, I believe, literally numbered in the millions. Millions of women their teeth ever again.
Yeah. Also, healthy fats. I was saying lamb and eggs. Also, like olive oil, coconut oil, hemp seed oil. I have all those. I just have them. I'll just sometimes take a swig out of the bottle. It sounds gross, but hey, that it's healthy for you. Healthy eating fats is good for you. So
The plaque buildup that would form is not unlike what goes on in your gut when it's untreated. Sure, you'll be fine for a while, but eventually you'll begin to get cavities.
Him the most was the fact that all tumors behave in the same way, even though they appear completely different from one another. Then he started.
Towards the end, there's this guy came, Dr. Simoncini, which he explained that that cancer was a fungus. And it turns out he treated with baking soda or whatnot, but they ended up the medical industry ended up revoking his medical degree or his license rather, and so he couldn't practice medicine anymore. But that's how corrupt that shit was because he was right, in the end. They always want to silence the people that are doing right, or even like Dr. Sebi, how he in 2008 he won a court case against the Supreme Court that he claimed to cure. He claimed to have the cure for cancer, AIDS, everything basically they say is incurable. He claimed to have the cure for it, and what he won the case, and what happened? This was it last year, a couple years ago. They ended up. He ended up dying somehow in the Honduras prison in a jail, which I'm sure they fucking killed him, because you can't win a court case against Esau and then get away with it. It's scot free,
Started looking for a common denominator and eventually found one.
But anyway, yeah, everybody should watch this video. Sugar, the cause of Candida, cause of cancer. It has so much information, and also if you think you have it, which brothers in your camp or people you're around, if they smell like real bad, you're like, whoa, dude. Like even after they take a shower, like you're like, man, it's fucking Candida. But yeah, there's this website the Candida diet, which it has so much information too of like what to eat, what to stay away from, what products to buy. I mean, like you take more, take probiotics. But yeah. Anyway, all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Shalom.